I totally need to fix that, or finish it at least. We'll see what it looks like after a race night. It's terrible. Toolbox is open and stuff slung everywhere. Still ain't cleaned it out yet. Of course, why would we do that? It's dirty. Even mine's dirty. Rained last night. Rained out our last race we was supposed to have for Jackie Hughes Memorial. Pollen season, you know. Her car's still dirty from racing the other weekend. Well, she got black flagged. This one's still not done. Gotta do some fuel stuff to it and shim up the new starter I put on it. And get her painted. I have to get this thing painted. It's got 1,000 coats of paint on it. She'll be very good to work. She wanted to paint it by Monday. Yeah, that probably not gonna happen. So it's my anniversary weekend. Mine and my wife's. So I ain't gonna work on nothing. I don't plan on it anyway, but seems like I always do anyhow. Girls ain't coming over this weekend, I don't guess. So that's probably not gonna get done this weekend. Maybe Sunday. So, first time ever I win a race. I'm like beside myself about it. Don't even feel real. But, so they put a race together at Cottonwood, Delta Motor Speedway, just for shits and giggles, and said, let's run all the 4-cylinder cars that's here. Well, all we had was the bomber car there practicing, and we was done with it. It's still overheating, so we don't know if we got that fixed yet or not either, but maybe. But nonetheless, had it loaded up, ready to go, and we were going to just watch the Crown Vic race. Well, they decide here we're gonna go ahead and do a 4-cylinder race, just all the cars that's here, because there's a bunch of 4-cylinders. There wasn't but a few regular hot shots, and the rest were beginners and people just out testing new cars. So it's like, sure, why not? So we run to the house and we loaded up this nasty thing that's still covered in dirt from the race before, and we loaded up mine. About the only thing we'd done to them was, you know, a little bit of body work, got the panels back together, and I fixed my front end for the most part. And, Y'all probably seen that in the previous video. Got all that going. But my left rear tire was flat. I realized it a couple weeks or a week before. And just didn't, you know. We'll fix it. We got a few weeks before Jack Hughes Memorial Race, so why worry with it, right? So we hauled back to the house. I had a flat tire on my little truck, so I was worried about fixing it. So we swapped that tire out on it and put one of the old tires back on it, you know, get you by in a pinch. And we rushed to get everything loaded up. We threw the blue car on the trailer and threw the yellow car on the trailer, and I knew my power steering didn't work. So my main objective for it was to dump some more power steering fluid in the empty reservoir, which did not fix it, by the way. So slammed that together and didn't even look at the left rear tire. Didn't even adjust the air pressures, left everything the same as it was the week before. So all my tires are pretty much low. And we go run. And I think I drew my wife drew me a 5th or 6th, something like that. And Shelby drawed way in the back. And we went and run. Well, y'all seen the videos. They're on, if you didn't, they were live on Facebook. You probably go back and look. And heck, most of the race, my left rear tire was flat. It kind of aired up a little bit, but it was pretty much flat. And my car wasn't handling. It was probably for obvious reasons, you know, left rear tire being flat and all my air pressures not being adjusted or nothing like that. But I didn't have nothing for the other car we was running against. And, of course, I usually have nothing for nobody because we're actually stock. And, I mean, I can't say that for a lot of people at the track, but our motors are just JDM motors. I mean, they're stock motors. We ain't gotten, mine's tuned. That's really about the only thing on it. The girls are automatics, so we haven't went to the fight of trying to tune those yet. But, yeah. Went and run, and whole dude that was in front, his car messed up. I mean, I hate it for him. His tire folded up under, we come in turn 3 and 4, and his tire folded up under, and it's like, wow, that just happened. I'm in first place. Wow, that's pretty cool. Never done that before. Seems like every time I ever got in front, I either spun the car out or run into the wall, or I honestly don't know what to do with my hands. And we run and restarted, and kind of thought a couple of cars behind me was going to come around me because, you know, you're in front now, you're excited, you're like, hit the gas harder and whatever. And I couldn't even go full throttle anyway because, you know, obvious reasons of flat tires. But, you know, wound up winning it. Go figure. I'd never done that. That's the most money I think I've ever won at a racetrack was $250. I mean, that was cool. I'd never, you know, we go have fun. I mean, I ain't got a car to compete. We ain't got competitive cars. I mean, the girls are pretty well competitive in the beginner class. I mean, so far this year, I've had 4th place, and it was a practice race. Like, only reason why I got it is because the top 2 cars decided they wanted to play bumper cars and wreck each other, which that's fine. The other 3 that was in front of me, I couldn't pass them. I got past one of them one time, but I couldn't stay there. I ain't got enough, you know, not enough horsepower. Either that or car just doesn't handle like theirs does or something. But, went and, got 4th that race, and then all of a sudden I win the second race. It was just kind of like a practice race. Now, Shelby here on her blue car, she run and got, so far this year, she's got a second place finish and a third place finish. And then her last one was a do not finish because, you know, she got black flagged. I guess that's what happens when you go through the infield 90-0 and don't slow down. And there's officials out there. So, you know, it is what it is. Brooke here got second that race. Shelby got third. So Brooks woke up. We got her car bandaged up and all from the previous damage on it. And we got all, I believe all the 4-cylinder cars are ready to go again. And we thought about going and running Baker, but you know, it's you got I got a holiday weekend, you know. That's my wife's anniversary, so I ain't really studying racing or race cars too much. Been out here off and on pedaling around during the week. My car's ready, and for some reason, my left rear tire's holding there. I mean, it wasn't before, but it's holding there now, so I have no clue. We'll run until it goes flat again. Girls' cars should be good. Brooke's having some transmission issues with hers, but it's off and on, so we don't exactly know why. But there's a ghost in it somewhere. And some days it lets her run and some days it don't. So I think she's going to full send it again. Shelby's car's ready other than, you know, the obvious. She should have washed it. This coming weekend, we're going to try the bomber we're actually racing, not practicing this time. That should be interesting. Be neat to see if Shelby can wake up, hit the accelerator, and follow the cars the way they go. Maybe do pretty good. We'll see. Kind of worried about everything staying together. The motor's got a little bit of engine noise, and of course it's old motor. I went through it, but it's still old, so I don't know how long it's going to last. Got to get the fueling issue fixed on it. I put a external fan shroud on it. Try to get some of that wind to go into the radiator there a little bit. We'll see how that does. I mean, it should do okay. We open the front end up a little bit. A little bit, hell. All the way, you know. Figure we get all the airs in there. Hopefully not get full of mud and clogged up and that. Of course, she's an aggressive driver, and I'm sure them front fenders aren't going to be front fenders no more other than boat anchors. But anyhow, we got it. Yeah, I just kind of figured I'd do an update of where we was at and how everything's going so far. And all that. But we're going to try to make this next race. It's not the Jackie Hughes Memorial race will be a while before we get into it. It'll be next month. We got one race this month. I don't have the exact dates, not yet. I know next weekend we're racing, and we'll have the bomber car, and I'll be hauling all 4 of these to the track in one day on 2 trailers with the beast and little white truck. But we'll get them up there and go run and have some fun and see how that goes. And then the race after that is just a regular points race. And then the race after that's the Jackie Hughes Memorial race. I owe a lot to Jackie Hughes. He's one of them that got got me into racing. And I used to run one of these here years ago, and Jackie done a lot for me to help me get going, even though I didn't want to, because I helped build dirt track cars. I didn't race them. I just raced. I drag raced. It wasn't my cup of tea. Then they talked me into it, and here I are. But yeah, we're gonna run a little bit and see how we do this year. Got some new sponsors hopefully coming aboard and all that. I mean, we got Ferguson Record Service now, and Mark's Old School Garage, Shandy Enterprises. Been running those pretty much the whole time. Last year we picked up the muffler shop, probably because we couldn't keep a muffler on anything. And not a muffler, but exhaust, the pipes, you know. I can weld roll cages and everything else, but drive shafts and all that. But you put me welding on the exhaust, and for some reason it just falls apart. I guess because you can't booger up a lot of metal on exhaust without turning the heat way down. And nonetheless, I can patch them, but I can't fix them. But we got them doing all our exhaust. They did the exhaust on the bomber car here for us, which that's a funny story. So we go to the muffler shop with this car, and go up there, and he said, well, let's put some exhaust on it and gotta get something. So we got some kind of, you know, they want us to have exhaust on. We gotta run stock manifolds and stuff like that. So I decided, okay, let's get the manifolds mounted. Hopefully they can redo the studs on them old truck manifolds that were sitting on a pile of garbage behind the shop. But anyway, we got them all cleaned up and on there, and he was able to get them mounted up. So we're at the place, we pull in. This car ain't been running 2 days. And we pull in, and Shelby cranks up the car and goes pull it off the trailer. And no sooner than she got it off the trailer, the car just quit. All of a sudden, wasn't getting no fuel anymore. And something wasn't right, so I'm pumping the accelerator and everything on it out from under the car, and we got the hood off of it. And undoubtedly, she ran it out of fuel. We thought we had enough fuel, and I think she put 6 gallons in it. Between us getting it running and everything else, we killed all of it, and nobody thought anything about putting any more fuel in it. So I took my old truck and pushed the car in there to get ahead and get the exhaust done on it, and me and Shelby went and got some fuel. That was like a 2.5 hour lunch we wound up taking that day just to get exhaust put on. And went and got some fuel, and we got it primed back up and running finally. The float kept sticking in it, I guess because it got low and done the sticking thing. But we got it back running and everything on the lift, and they got the exhaust on there. Man, it's cool. I mean, it's pretty exhaust. I mean, I've never had exhaust on a vehicle that pretty. And especially a race car. And she goes to back off the lift, and she bounced it, and as soon as she did, all the left side right here decided it wanted to fold up under the car, and old dude had to redo the whole left side again. And that was fun. It's hilarious. Whoa, whoa, whoa didn't mean anything to Shelby. She just like went until the vehicle stopped. So we ripped all the exhaust on the driver's side, slam off of it. We got it, or he went and redone it, and then we go to back off again, and it barely touches, and we had to put boards under the lift and everything just to get it off. But so it might not have actually been her fault, but we'll say it was, because, you know, Shelby. But yeah, well, we got him as a sponsor. He's done us really good, putting putting our stuff on and getting our exhaust done and making sure all that is kept up nice and good. And we redid his thing for the hood of this car, make it look like the Rusty's logo, kind of. That way it kind of kept the Lightning McQueen look. We did Ferguson's too on the rear of it. That way it was like that too. That way try to keep it set up, you know, ish. But yeah. But we got them as sponsors. I mean, they've been pretty good. We got Aaron's Automotive picked up on us this year. We got to get stickers made for the cars, get them on there and everything. And he said he wanted to sponsor 3 or 4 of them, so we'll sure enough let him give us money. Cause when much money as I blow in this stuff right here, I mean, I need all the help I can get. And of course, we're in it for fun. I mean, this ain't to make money. This is to make money. Yeah, you know what I mean. It ain't a thing. We're not winning. The girls are doing pretty good in the beginner class. I mean, they're hitting the top. I accidentally got a win. So, I mean, win's a win, right? But yeah, yeah, thank you, Addison, for tearing your car up. I sure do appreciate it. He had that one. I mean, there was no doubt in my mind he was going to win that one. I was just really glad to get second. Kind of inching my way up, finally getting wins or something. And of course, I'm here for the girls. This is for them. This ain't for me. This thing started off for CC, my youngest one, and you know, this used to be black. This was the black car. I know it doesn't look nothing like it did, but this used to be her car. And she took her first car out, which was an Acura Integra, and it was manual, and she run it, and it was a pretty good little car. It'd do pretty good. It wasn't the fastest thing out there, but it's shown up run. Old guy gave it to us. So it used to be a championship car and all that. I don't think it ever was, but it might have been. And got it fixed up for her and halfway running. Just enough where she could go out there and play on it. And during practice before the first race here a few years back, she rolled it. And cars thought they were racing during the practice, and they parted her waters around her and bumped into her, and she got nervous, and she hammered the gas and hit one of them or something, but she never let out the accelerator and drove right up the wall. But she rolled it and ripped the whole rear end out from under the car. So we had to retire it. So that Saturday we missed the first race. And then I built this car. I mean, it was this, you've seen pictures of it. It was black, sold 69X car. And we slapped it together and was going to race. And got it going for it. Took me a couple weeks, but really I think I had it done in a week. Hurried up, threw the roll cage out of the other car in it, and got the car running. And worst thing was the car hadn't been running. It was just a junk car. We was using for parts to fix up my daughter's other car. And undoubtedly the thing run. So he said, well, let's slap it together and we'll get it running enough and get it out there, and she can go get some practice laps in and learn how to drive these cars. It's just something she wanted to do. And we slapped it together, and she went out and she ran a couple races with it, and she never really got up to speed. I think that flip kind of messed her up, and kind of took away what she was wanting to do. And she just never could do it. So I watched her last race and about had a heart attack. So here she is running, and she never really hammered the gas, and I think she said something was wrong with the car or something, and probably about the 4th lap, they were catching up to her, and I was getting sick at my stomach, and my chest was, I had to grab my chest, and my heart was hurting, and leaned over the fence, and they said she pulled off the track, and I was just like the most ecstatic, happiest dad in the world. You know, I wasn't fixing to have a heart attack and die. So we loaded the car up and come home, and I said, look, you know, we got to do something different here. And she decided she wasn't going to run anymore. She's just wasn't comfortable, didn't feel good about it. And I took over the car. I said, well, I'll run it. You know, it's something to do. This is fun. I always enjoyed racing. And said, heck with it, and I'd run. Got out there, and I think the highest I ever got was 7th place. I think 7th, maybe 6th one time. I got 4th in a heat race one time with it. That was kind of cool. That was about it. I mean, it was a middle pack running car. It wasn't the fastest car by any means. But it did okay. I mean, we couldn't keep up with the cars that were out there and all that. And really haven't made any changes to this car other than put a different roof on it, and everything's a little bit lighter than it was. But all in all, it's pretty much the same car. I think we lost 200 pounds on it. That was about it. Same motor, same transmission, same basic tires. Didn't do a whole lot in the car. It always been a dependable car. I mean, if there was one to hop in and race, this was it. I mean, now we got check engine light for O2 sensor on it, and I think that's because it doesn't have a catalytic converter or any of that stuff. But it doesn't pop it up in limp mode or nothing, so we race it. Brooks done really good on it. I think that first year I raced that car, went through like 6 motors before I finally figured out what it would take to actually get the car working and running. I mean, it was starving for oil, and every motor I put in it was old junkyard motors. So, and the motor that was in it was an actual junkyard motor. The whole car was a junkyard car. Had no front end on it. Had nothing on it. It was just a old junk car. Motor had been sitting in the elements the whole time, rain going through it and all, and I got her unlocked and it run. So, I mean, we just threw it together for CC to go play anyway. And I think it lasted like 3 or 4 races, and it said goodbye. No oil pressure. I didn't have another motor, so we tried rebuilding the bottom end in it, and that didn't do nothing. Undoubtedly, I'm not a Honda guru. I can't build Honda motors because oil pressure was good. It just kept blowing head gaskets after that, and you know, even after machine work and stuff. So I just hell with it. It wasn't no good for me. So I started buying JDM motors, and after 3 or 4 junkyard motors, we finally put a JDM motor in it, and that's the same motor that's been in it. So we got 3 or 4 races on it, a whole season. Yeah, 3 or 4 races on it, a whole season on it. Now we're going on the second full season now with it. So hopefully the motor hangs out. This one here's got a full season on it. It's another JDM motor. We just put straight up JDM motor in it. Motor was in the car. Once we got the car running and was working on getting the transmission working, because there was some wiring issues, it finally lost oil pressure on it, and we hadn't even made it to the racetrack. So we took and put a JDM motor in it, and running it now. The yellow car, I bought a motor pretty cheap and reasonable. It was supposed to be a JDM, but it's not a F23A. It's a F23A 7 or 4 or something like that. It's a junkyard motor, and So far, it's kept oil pressure and everything's been good on it. I got a full season on it. We was building this car for my son. He decided he was going to give it a shot and race. We tried before, and he kind of lost interest. And this car was a manual, and he was driving his truck there. That's his old truck. And it's a manual, so we decided we're going to build this car. I bought it for like $400, and a guy said it needed a clutch or something, and we never even crossed that bridge. I bought it for the motor, snatched the motor out of it, and put it in snatched the motor out and put it in the black car. Well, what used to be black. And it made 2 races, and then it locked up. But it lost oil pressure. These F-23s, man, do not like oil. I mean, it just don't like it. But we was running, and it went. But the car was sitting, and, you know, it still had all the interior and everything, and told my son, hey, guess we're going to build the Acura CL. Try it. Same motor platform as the other ones. I'll just order a JDM motor to go in it. He said, you do that, I want to drive it. I said, well, okay. We'll run it. And I shopped around, and I found a guy down in Florida that had a JDM motor, or advertises a JDM motor for I think he wanted $200 for it. I went down and gave him $150 for it. But me and my son rode down and got it and pulled this car in the shop, started gutting it and getting everything done and getting it ready. And I think our plan was to try to race it at the Peanut Classic 2 years ago. Not last year, but the year before the Peanut Classic then. And we hadn't really got in the car that good. Ordered a roll cage for it and stuff, and none of that got here yet. And well, my son there got in a motorcycle accident, and some reason he laid the bike down, and it was dark, and a car come by and got him, or a truck, and that didn't work out so well for us. So I took the time to build this car after that. That gave me something to do. You can't lose a kid and not have something to do, you know? So I threw the car together and built it up and got it running and took it to the Peanut Classic and fought it tooth and nail. And the car fought me the whole way, did not want to run. But we got it going. So, still running on the motor me and Blade picked up. And we're running it. So as far as I'm concerned, you know, he's running this car, not me. We're out having fun. And that's what my car's for. I mean, I'm out there to race and try to be competitive, but you honestly cannot be competitive in these cars. I mean, we're running F-23s. They don't make any aftermarket stuff for these cars or nothing to make them go fast. I mean, you can engine swap a bunch of stuff or put a K motor in them or a H motor in them, and which I'd like to do a H swap, at least get, you know, 50 more horsepower than I got. But I'm in it to have fun. I don't want to spend a bunch of money on car. And I mean, this car here, I probably got $30,000 in it, maybe something like that. Well, no, I got a lot more than that in it, but initially, and I go do an engine swap and all that, and None of them motors are cheap. I'm not like some of these guys that can go call these builders down in Florida and all this and order these built motors with cams and ported and polished and different whatever they do. I know 350s. I don't know these motors so good. I guess they stroke them too. I really don't know. Put head packages on them, and a lot of racetracks, or not racetracks, but there's a tuner up in Georgia that does a lot, and he puts head packages on them and all kinds of stuff. And funny story, I took my car up there to him to get it tuned, and it was Jason Waters tuning. I took it up there to get it tuned. He kind of laughed at me and said, man, he said, this, you ain't going to be able to compete. Your class there offers engine swaps and stuff. Why don't you put an H in it or something like that? And honestly, that was my intention I just needed the ECU and stuff to get started, you know, and maybe tune and get 20 more horsepower out of the motor that's in it. And, he kind of laughed at me, which, you know, I get it. I mean, these motors are junk. We really probably shouldn't even be racing them anyway. They're not made to do high RPMs. I know, because, I mean, I killed how many of them? But anyway, it was a little bit of a mess getting it going, but we're racing. You know, one day I might buy one build or something that's a faster car, but you know, you need somebody else build it. So, can you trust it? Really? Is it what it is? I mean, I don't have 15 grand to go throw in a motor to build or to put one in one just to be competitive with the cars that's out there. Because this is fun. We're in it for fun. Hope y'all follow us through everything and watch us. Because that's all we do. We have fun. Me and the girls have fun. That's all we do. And that's our update, though. We're getting ready for the next race, and there'll be some videos out on this one right here. We're gonna get it painted and get stickers on it, and I'm sure Brooke and Shelby will be goofing off during that the whole time. Should be a lot of fun. Maybe we can get some sponsors, help pay for some of this. It hurts. But yeah, we'll go with that. We'll see y'all on the next one. We'll see how this goes. We'll go down there and play. Let's see if Shelby can get a win out of this car before she parks it. I ain't gonna let her run this class and that, the beginner class and the bomber class, too long. So we're gonna try to get a few races in and get her running this one pretty good, and then we're gonna park this one, sell this one, or maybe CC will decide she wants to race again. We'll put her in it. Maybe she'll try again and she'll do pretty good. If Shelby don't tear this thing up. I mean, it has had better days. It's not so pretty anymore. But it's a competitive car in the beginner class anyway. Not bad for a stock F23. We'll stock everything. But yeah, y'all like and subscribe. See y'all in the next round. Maybe we can keep this show going pretty good and everybody and enjoy. We're having fun. We just want to take y'all on our journey here and let y'all see what we're doing. And we goof off a lot. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.